Welcome to show number 128. Getting involved here. One Everson Walls for the Giants here at he was 28 with the Giants, I believe. Anyway, so I think he was.
I was going to say, man, Everson Walls is a Giant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was a Giant.
A Cowboy. What are you talking about here?
He was on the, wasn't he on the Giants when they won the Super Bowl?
Probably, but we don't talk about that.
Probably. Anyway, I don't know. You're private chatting me there. I don't know what's going on. But hey, listen, this is show number 128. Getting involved here. Now, of course, behind the glass, your friend and mine from Old Timers Day, wearing the cowboy hat, because I'm coming to you live from downtown Mahwah. Of course, Dave Sturcio from Chop Sports Media Studios, Empire of the World, coming to us live here from downtown Mattawan in his cowboy gear. All excited about the NFL season, which takes place in 2 weeks. But before that happens, we have a show to do. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm good. Shout out to everybody who's about to get cut today, whatever team you are. It is cut down day here in the NFL. So at 4 o'clock, you'll have your rosters a little bit more crystallized. And, it's just like anything else. I tried to put out a tweet this morning about not like ragging on people that get, cut, because it's like it's getting fired. So if like I got fired from a job, it's not like Jimmy would be like, thank God we needed to make some room for somebody else. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you would.
People's dreams are being crushed here.
Yeah, you wouldn't put that out about Chris Gucci from the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
No. You know what? Come to think of it, maybe I would.
Chris Gucci's
subject to waivers.
Chris Gucci. Now, we're going to discuss Chris Gucci in just a moment.
Oh, great.
We'll have some fun with that. But, well, yeah, you're right. The cuts are, you know what it is? A lot of guys will never play again. Mm-hmm. I think it's a little better now than it was 20 years ago. Guys, they don't all go pump gas anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I think some do, I guess, but some have, some end up, I think the word's out that you can't be, a complete piece of garbage if you don't make it. You got to get some grades in anyway.
Right.
But all right, well, show number 128, cut day here at the NFL. I could care less about who the Giants cut. I'm old. I watch the games, and those are the players I watch. Everybody stinks anyway. And we got a lot to discuss here. But as you well know, here at Shea, nice little clunky start to our show. It's always smooth as oil here at Shea. We do the baseball card thing. And of course, my brother's going to be mad at me because my brother's going to remember this guy really well. And it really goes against what this bit is about. But I'm going to go with you, Willie Horton, your friend and mine, Willie Horton, big time Detroit Tiger, actually has a monument at Comerica. Did you realize that? Like very few guys get a monument. He's got a monument, which blew me away. I would not have guessed that. But Willie, I got his 1973 card there, and I don't know how, it's just jammed in with random cards. And I didn't set this up. They've been sitting on my shelf for 30 years. He played 18 years in the bigs, lifetime batting average 273, 325 home runs, 1167 RBIs, and 1,900 hits. He's one of those guys that shouldn't make the Hall of Fame, because you're supposed to be awesome. But if there was that second tier, he would be in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Played for Detroit for 15 years, then played with Texas, Cleveland, Oakland, Toronto, and Seattle, like a lot of guys did. He was a DH at the end. He was an early African-American for the Tigers. I think he was their second one. And he hit 20 plus home runs 7 times. What are you laughing at?
Not to be confused with the first one.
I don't know who that is. It just said he was the second one.
I don't either. It's just he's the second one.
He's the second one, but he's I guess the first one probably was not that big of a deal because everybody remembers that Willie Horton.
The fact that you had to write second one is he was actually good.
Right, but yeah, the other guy probably didn't do so well.
Right.
Although maybe we're wrong. Maybe what? I got to look that up now. My brother's going to be mad at me.
Jackie Robinson on the back end of his career. He's like, oh, by the way, it was Jackie.
Martin Walsack. I like my fans chiming in here on the chat board. My sister, Martin Walsack, Dying Breed Garage, Will Pena. Anyway, he had 20 or more home runs 7 times. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. He has a statue at the park. God bless America. Now, in 1967, during the riots in Detroit, he actually went out on top of cars with his uniform on, trying to keep everybody to calm down. And then Detroit burned for 5 days. So Willie Horton failed at that. But,
okay.
I laughed at this because he was like a very good player for a very long time. Considered like wasn't the best fielder, ended up DH at the end, had a little pop in him. So it sounds like he ended up coaching with them. He had an assistant GM position with the Tigers. One of those, like, for Tiger fans, Willie Horton's like all world. You know what I mean?
He's no Ricky Hill, but he's there.
He's no Ricky Hill for sure from last week. But he also saved Al Kaline's life, who is Al Kaline's a Hall of Famer. There was a collision, and in the outfield, and supposedly Al Kaline got like hit in the throat, and he started turning blue, and like Willie Horton like grabbed his neck and like, he didn't give mouth to mouth, but he got
put him in the Hall of Fame. Put him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, 273 hitter and saving lives. So,
but he also won. Hey, look, the guy also won a World Series in '67. So God bless Willie Horton. This guy, I remember him as a kid. He was a good wiffle ball player for me. I used to imitate his stance a little bit. So this guy was definitely not in the spokes. On the back of his card, it says Willie was first scouted at age 14. And other unnecessary stats here. But that's it. Willie Horton. Now, as you well know, Dave's been researching shitty tight ends for the Cowboys. And we do this for no reason, because I still think every time the Giants play the Cowboys, there's always a tight end open. But Dave says
get
that's
ready.
Not
We got
true.
3 of them this year, boy, or maybe even 4 of them. So you better be ready for that.
But I still think it's the same guy. I really do. Anyway, so who do we got with your shitty Cowboy tight end?
It's so funny you say that. The Steelers had a tight end. His name was Heath Miller for the longest time. It was like, I felt like it was like half of my lifetime. And no matter what now, every time he caught a ball, the crowd collectively would do Heath, right?
Right.
They replaced him, and they kept doing Heath, no matter who it was. They kept.
That's great.
It was a tight end.
That's
they were
great.
Heath. I think that was great, actually.
I love that. That's like the Pot Van Sucks thing with the cheers. They do
Pot
it like
Van,
at high
right.
school. They do it like if there's like a National Honor Society meeting at the end of something. You hear one guy yell out, "Pot Van Sucks." It's like, I love that.
Absolutely. My tight end today is actually, which is perfect, because he played in the entire gap between Novacek and Witten. So like he was there as like a
I should know
guy.
this guy then.
Not really. From 95 to 2000. So Witten came a little bit later than that, but his name is Eric Bjornsson.
Oh, I don't
6'4",
know
236, right out of California. He played a lot of games, except for he played for the Patriots in 2000, where he only played 8, but the previous 4 seasons, he played no less than 14 games for the Dallas Cowboys. So he was active. He was, catching balls here and there, not a lot, but he's got, I don't know, he's got 6 total touchdowns in his life.
Was that the Hogaboon era or after?
No. Hogaboon was before Troy.
Who was the quarterbacks then?
It was Troy for a little while, and then he got concussed for the last time, and he got his bell rung, and then, like I said, we can have a whole podcast on the quarterbacks in between Troy and Tony Romo. If you want, we can segue to that because I'm running out of tight ends. But if you want to do shitty Cowboy quarterbers from about 98,
next week we will start doing shitty Cowboy quarterbacks.
Done.
And maybe do a little research. Maybe give me something maybe a little bit before Staubach or after. Maybe give me some love there.
All right.
So that's it. So Eric Bjornsson, who really didn't do anything. Well, I didn't know, because I was watching games back then. But there was a point in my Giant watching career that I faded away. Giants probably weren't any good then. I think they were. And life gets in the way, and you just don't watch.
I mean, after they won after Parcells won that Super Bowl, they were kind of irrelevant until 2000, right? I mean, they didn't really do anything. They didn't win any divisions.
They weren't that good the year they lost in the Super Bowl. I was at that game too. All right, so Eric Bjornsson and Willie Horton tried to save the world from the riots. It didn't work out, but he's still alive. He's 80 years old, by the way. All right, so that begins our show. Now, of course, very sad news coming out of downtown Mahwah. My weight situation. Now, last week I was 214.
For a death announcement.
I know. I do love that.
Sad day here, Jay.
This is a sad day. Last week I came in at 214.2, like a young Bone Crusher Smith. And this week I thought I did go away for a couple of days, and I didn't play well on the diet thing there. I'm not sure. I came in at a robust 214.8, 0.6. I am I see I need chin pay on here. You know what? I get
why do you
notes
think I grow
that
the
say,
beard? It's to hide all that stuff, Jimmy. You just gotta grow the beard,
see,
man.
I got to do the beard thing. And
I'm wondering, have you ever? I mean, I've seen a million of your headshots. Have you ever actually tried to grow a beard or no?
a little goatee once around here, a big like country western star
Okay,
goatee around.
just curious.
But then it gets itchy. I can't stand it.
And you got to get past that stage. And once you get past that, it's smooth sailing after that. But I have to pull back the curtain a little bit for all the Jimmy Palumbo fans and supporters out there. This weight was taken literally 4 seconds before we went live, and Jimmy had his ear pods in the entire time. So
could be. I had my Apple Watch.
I was giving him live commentary.
You know what? I'm wearing very heavy underwear. So there's some controversy at the weigh-in here at the Mirage that we're not so sure. He may not be.
He's gonna the next way in. I'm gonna be the one holding up the towel, like nobody can see it.
That's it. I'm gonna come in. I look like Butterbean. My sister's gonna be pissed. She's been saying I'm a fat bastard for a while now. Yeah. Which brings us to your friend and mine, our Patreon. And sadly, we are mired. We are like the New York Yankees of mired in slumps. We're stuck at 35, no 36, no Mark Haynes, and Coney. I can't believe there's not a David Cohn fan out there.
We should have told Ricky Hill to join the Patreon, but we didn't.
Yeah, he should have given me his $3. He did such a great job.
We missed out on that.
Yeah, welcome Stephen Bash to the show here, coming on the chat board, and Martin Walsack and my sister, and of course, Dying Breed Garage. But
got a
Patreon, I got to give a big shout out to my boy Mike Shecky Lawler, big Dolphin fan. He's painting. He's doing a job. He's painting somewhere, so he's got the audio on, and he is listening to my show. And he sent me something very funny. I didn't get it back to him right away. He sent me. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I'm sure you have. Some of those old Tommy Lasorda YouTube clips of him on the mound. They are just, and the one audio when he curses, I spent like 20 minutes. I wish they had they probably threw them out because back in the day, I'm sure like Billy Martin and Earl Weaver and Lasorda.
Have you ever heard the Terry Collins one from a couple years back from the Mets? It's one of you gotta give us a shot. You gotta. Oh my God, John, I'm gonna send it to you as soon as the show's over today. It is so good.
I think I saw that. I think I want to see that.
And as his way out, he's on his way out. He's at the very top of the dugout. He's finally done it. And like the last thing, he's like, "You little cocksucker." Dude, Terry Collins, the man.
That's great.
Great.
But I promised Shecky, Mike Lawler, I was good friends with Artie back in the day. I'd give him a shout out for sending me that stuff. And he listens to the show and critiques when I say something stupid. He's like, him and Mike Lawler and my brother Frank are the only two critiques, the Siskel and Ebert of my show. Like, I'm doing a live show, and God forbid I say 1977 instead of 1979. Like, it was 79. Like, all right, calm down.
No credibility whatsoever.
But yeah, so we're mired in a slump here at Patreon, but that's okay.
Whoa, Stephen Bash over here with the assault. Get rid of the cowgirl hat. Oof. All right, listen. Get rid of your speakers. Stop listening.
Stephen Bash, I don't know if you're new to the show, but if you are, Dave Sturcho is that's not new news that he's a Cowboy fan. I'll tell you that.
No, not at all.
You know what? It's not even a point where I mock him out for it anymore. I mean, he was only 10 when the Cowboys won it last.
I was.
That was and since then, every year, every Monday going into school as high school was not a good time for Dave. But now I knew Darryl Clark was going to kick in. He's my asshole buddy from Louisiana down there. That's because it's college football week. And I've decided to, in honor of Bear Bryant, wear my Bear Bryant hat that I got for $3 at a garage sale. I thought it was cool. So I'm doing the Bear Bryant. And we're going to get more about, we're doing my college football preview, really a Rutgers preview. I got a couple of things I will tell people about.
They're all over you right now in the comments, man. Troy with a good one. Did you get the free bowl of soup with the hat? Holy shit. That's very good.
Yes. I know Stephen Bash, me and you do go way back. Colonia people. And Martin Walsack getting involved with quick 3 tie the score and inning one with it. I like the hat. No, because I got the beads the AirPods in here. And I can wear the cool hats. And I got a hat collection. So every week I'm going to wear a hat that I used to like to wear back in the day.
This is so silly. My dad works for the last 40 years of his life. He works for a hat distributing company. I should just get you a bunch of fedoras. I know he's got them. So I'll have to gift you some.
Yeah, but
my dad
my
dad actually listens to the show now, by the way.
So. All right, so he's listening right now. But I like to see what he has because I have a gray one, a brown one. I got this one. I gotta fill in the collection to get it color right. But I used to love wearing these hats. I'm gonna start wearing them again because I'm bald now. I'm bald and fat. And if I owned a hat company, I'd be like, come on in. If you're bald and fat, we got the hat for you. Jimmy Palumbo's beautiful line of hat wear here at Shea. I gotta start getting into shape though. I'll make it happen. I promise you, because I am gonna run that 5K and shock the world.
That boy Troy, Tom Landry hat. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Which brings us to Absolute Eyewear, America's favorite sponsor here from the Omni, 42 Main Street in Woodbridge, New Jersey, down by the train station, 732-326.
Eyes.
Dave Sturcio with a delayed three, almost blocked as LeBron came swatting by, but he got it off for a quick three. 326-3937. Craig and Johnine, go in there. They're opticians. They love us. We love them. You go in there. They got everything in there. They take care of you. When you leave there, you don't feel like a jerk off. They size you up. It's well worth it. They'll give you a good price. They'll give you a deal, $100 off a pair of glasses. They love the show. They're always listening. Johnine listens like a day later. I think she.
I always get a text. I always get a text or something a day later.
Yeah, she always laughs at least a few lines that we say. So go down there. They've been in the business for 18, 19 years, something like that. Open 5 days a week. They're closed Wednesday. Why?
To play softball.
And they're closed Sundays. Why?
To watch those scrub Giants get beat by the Cowboys.
Right. Except they could stay open this opening day Sunday because then you'd be back by the
Sunday night. Are you guys going to the game? Anybody going besides me?
I'm going.
That's right. You did tell me that. Okay.
Me and my buddy Dave are going. So that should be fun. But anyway, Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, down by the train station and downtown Woodbridge. Give them a shout, 732-326-3937. And they got a hell of a selection there. Your attention, please. Now available at Absolute Eyewear, Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturcio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley's kids are there. They have kids, Oakley glasses for the kids.
I don't know why I don't know why I continue to giggle at that. Like you say it for the last 14 shows that I've been on this thing, and every time
Charles it just gives me a little. Kids are there.
Or I can pull the Chris Gucci and just
the Gucci stare. I could never tell if he's looking at porn or the stock market. I used to go I'd be like, hey, Chris, we're here, we're live.
Ben Wexler getting involved here says I have to be the shit-talking catcher on the Beer League the series. Well, stay tuned, Ben.
Well, stay tuned because we got some news coming up right now.
Yeah.
We will discuss. Well, listen, there's Beer League news. And what we're doing, as you well know, we are shooting 3 more. We're excited about it. We had to do a second campaign, and we're going to be promoting that. We need a few more dollars to get it all going, but I'm also getting some private donations from close friends and family. And we are going to be shooting 3 more. And ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be some new casting in the Beer League series. That's right. Dave Sturcio will be having a part in the Beer League series. He will be part of Manganelli's evil team.
Oh, yeah.
He will be, he can only have a Cowboy because Manganelli's a Cowboy fan.
He's a Cowboy fan.
If I went to a casting director, how can I find an asshole Cowboy fan to play the part that I realized he's on my show every week? This is the easiest casting ever. Now, have we decided we're working on your character name? Now, I thought because you wrestled, what was your wrestling character name?
My wrestling character name was Dave Destruction with a hyphen, not spelled out.
So you will be Destruction on our thing, which will be hysterical.
How are you going to keep you straight? Give it up for good. But here I am, back from the dead.
Back from the dead, Dave Destruction with a hashtag. Matter of fact, I'm going to make you say that on the thing with a hashtag.
It's Destruction with a thing.
What do you think? You have to do that, and we'll look at you like you're a jerk off.
Yeah.
Which will be funny.
Let's bring in the guest, man.
We're going to bring him in 2 seconds. I'm annoyed. I shouldn't say what I'm about to say, but I am.
He's going to hang up now.
No, it's just no. Before we get to our guest, Artie Lang's manager just won't post about the beer league, the series. I don't understand it. It makes me crazy. I love you, Tom. Not Tom Baldinger. Now who's a guy coming on, but the other Tom, Artie's manager. I don't understand. Just put it on this social media.
You want me to take care of this?
No, you can't. There's nothing you can do.
I'll find him.
Otherwise, I'm going to have Dave Destruction Sturcio take care of this. I haven't talked to Artie in a little bit. I know he's sober, and I just don't understand this. Put it out there. Artie, what's in beer league? We're doing some beer league thing. What does it hurt? Anyway, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I was like, you know what? That's like, I'm 58 years old. There's like
I'm
8 seconds
in
to go.
His chair backstage right now. He's just like, oh, what are you doing, Jimmy? What are you doing?
My career, we're out of timeouts here. You know what I mean? It's like a minute and a half to go. We're down by 8.
Use our last 30 second on the last one.
I need to score and get the 2-point conversion. I mean, the fans are dwindling out. I'm backed up on my own 8 after a great punt. God. You know what I mean? I'm sure the first pass I throw will be a 25-yard strike over the middle, though.
Eric Bjornsson.
There we go, to Eric Bjornsson getting involved. And here comes Willie Horton. The callbacks are here at Shea. Anyway, well, we have a special guest I have to bring on. And there's really no reason to have this guy on other than I love him and I'm going to bust his balls. But he's a very important part of Beer League. And I'm going to see if I can click him on right now. He's a very important part of Beer League. He's one of the producers, and he directed Beer League, the series. Ladies and gentlemen, your friend and mine, welcome here, director-producer Tom Baldinger to the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on? The only thing that's got me a little nervous is, Dave, you said, you want me to go take care of him. Jimmy Palumbo, Dave Sturcio, Maganelli.
I know a couple guys.
And you got an Irish guy directing it. So I don't know. There's something wrong here.
I don't think we're going to send down Baldinger to go take care of the business over there.
Yeah, Baldinger.
Just tug on his shirt. Excuse me, sir.
You sound like an offensive lineman, a 5th-year senior out of Iowa.
I asked him if he was related to Brian, but he said no.
Brian Baldinger. No, I wish I was.
So funny.
Same.
But yeah, so Tom, welcome to the show. Now, obviously, first of all, how you doing? What's going on, man?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, it's getting ready, man. I'm excited, Jimmy. We're excited to bring Dave into the mix of the Beer League, the series. Looking forward to deconstruction. We're gonna have to have him, like, when he says that every time, he's got to put up a little symbol that shows the dash.
We're gonna have
construction.
Maybe we'll put a little dash on it.
Is he calling it deconstruction? Is that what's happening
here? Destruction, not deconstruction. What is it?
No, that's what I say. Deconstruction. I don't know.
We're never gonna get his name right. Maybe that'll be part of it. We'll just never get his name right.
Oh, dude, I've been called it all dysfunction. Listen, it's been out
as
there.
long as the joke is the little dash in between, because that's critical marketing. I mean, if we're gonna put the Beer League on the internet, we got to have Dave Destruction with the hashtag. Otherwise, it doesn't work. But all right. So, Tom, you've been in the business a while. So tell me a little. I know a little bit about your earlier career, but not as much as I should. We met, first of all, I'll tell you how we met on a shitty little short. And I say that with a smile. He was casting something, and next thing you know, I don't know, I got submitted on it, or he knew a friend of a friend. Next thing you know, I'm on the set. It was a cool little thing. And we started talking, and I was getting ready to launch this Beer League thing. And you were like, you stopped me dead in my tracks. And you're like, whoa, who's directing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I met some guy. I'm going to use him. And Tom Baldinger was like, no. Did you sign a contract? I'm doing this. I'm your guy. So I said, all right. I didn't really know the other guy that well, and I only had one conversation with him. He didn't call me back the second time. So, Tom, we met that way. And we started doing it. Now, tell me a little bit about your background. Where did you get started in this? What's your deal?
So 624 Productions is my production company in Hillsborough, New Jersey. We've been an LLC production company for 12 plus years. I graduated from Wagner College, Staten Island, as a theater major. After that, I realized that I was not a very good actor. and decided to do writing. And
I realized that 30 years
Jimmy,
ago for
Jimmy
me.
Jimmy still hasn't realized that yet.
Oh, I can't wait. All the outtakes from Dave Destruction will be utilized. Oh, they all get sent to my Dropbox privately. And
who runs your social media, Jimmy?
I know, that's the only problem. I'll have to go hire someone else. It'll cost me more money to get you to abuse you on social media. All right, so you realize I didn't realize you started out as an actor.
I did. I did the whole musical theater thing. You know, so I was the lead in Damn Yankees my senior year in college. Did Jesus Christ Superstar, singing, dancing, and all that kind of stuff.
I did not know that. The guy, my God, the guy who.
And I'll tell you this too. I went to Mike Nichols Acting School for my master's in acting. It was a 2-year program in New York City.
And you still get along with your parents after all that?
Oh my God! Let me tell you, it was after 1 year of it, I realized I was like, wow, I don't belong here. And my mom literally said to me, she's like, well, you got to get a friggin' job. Like you can't, you can't be living here.
I've had my family members been telling me that for 35 years.
Why don't you try to talk to your dad about becoming a professional wrestler? How about that conversation? Hey,
so
Dad,
you are.
It's like what? What did I pay for school for? What was that? I'm sorry, you said what? Yeah.
You are amongst friends here in that category. But we chose not to listen. But at least you. All right. So then, what did you decide to do? You decided to pack it in.
I started working in the financial industry, and I've been in the financial industry for almost 20 years. But back then, I wrote my first play, raised money through friends and family, put it on in the city at the Producers Club, and that's when I fell in love. I was like, all right, I love producing, I love directing, and then it was my third play that I did called Two Sides of Love. That we were kind of doing like a little shitty little community tour of it here in Jersey, and ran into one of our director of photography, Jeff Sesselberg, who's part of the 624 family. He was the stage manager at this playhouse. I think it was in New Brunswick somewhere. And he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, you ever think about doing like a short film version of this play?" And
it wasn't Playhouse 22, was it?
That's it. Yes, Playhouse 22. Yes.
Okay. And
I don't know what that is.
Do you know why I know about Playhouse 22?
Why?
Jimmy Palumbo, his first start as a big right-hander out of Colonia, who goes 5 2/3, scatters 3 hits in the production of Play It Again, Sam, at Playhouse 22 back in 1989. So that's where I got my start.
So you might know Jeff's dad. Jeff's dad is Bill Sesselberg. He ran Playhouse 22 for a number of years, for a long time.
Back in 80, no, they're in a new facility now. I was in the old Detroit Stadium with the short porch over there. They rebuilt the stadium well after me. This is 1989. You weren't doing that back then.
No. I won't tell you how old I was in 1989.
Yeah, 12.
I mean, I was 4, so anybody can.
So you started doing that, and then the play took off a little bit.
The play became a short film. Ronnie Marmo was our star in it.
Woodbridge kid.
And Ronnie was like my mentor. He kind of is like, this is what you got to do, this is what you can't do, kind of film, and just kind of, it laid out from there. And ever since then, we've been doing short films, music videos. We did a feature. We got a couple new projects that we're working on now that we're really excited about, as well as Beer League. So it's been good. It's been busy. It's allowed me to meet people like you, Jimmy, and like you, Dave, and the Rolodex keeps getting bigger and wider and stronger.
And we all get broker. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, and then we all
every contact. I look at a Rolodex. It's like, wow, every contact in my Rolodex probably cost me $1,500. What did you say that?
I gotta be the cheapest one.
My Rolodex is filled up. Oh, really? You must be down about $40,000.
It's so funny, Jimmy, because when you approached me about Beer League, and when you told me what you were doing, I remember seeing the original movie with my brother, him and I played softball. We played in like firemen's leagues. We played in policemen's leagues. Right. I played softball for a long time. And that was our go-to movie when we would go down to Long Beach Island with our buddies. We'd bring down Beer League, Artie Lang's Beer League. We'd bring down Blazing Saddles, Caddyshack, and those were the movies we'd watch late at night.
Beer League in the first round of the tournament, taking on Blazing Saddles.
Dude, it was
by 11 with 6 seconds to go.
It was in the realm of films that we would watch. And it was. It
is a cult classic for Jersey people.
Tom, can I ask you if you had the same reaction that I did, being that I was a Beer League extraordinaire and just one of the major fans of the show. When I first interacted with Jimmy was talking about on Facebook. I was friends with him on Facebook. First of all, that day where it said Jimmy Palumbo accepted your friend request. I was like, oh my God, it's Jimmy Palumbo. And then all of a sudden he's like, I got to do a podcast. I was like, well, what the hell? I got a studio. Did you have the same reaction as I did? Like when you met Jimmy, did you like, oh, what a fucking jerk off this guy is? Man, don't meet your heroes, bro.
Don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes. Okay,
no,
wait a minute. Hang on a second, though, Tom. I got to before you answer that. I got a rebuttal. Then I do my first podcast with.
You didn't even know who I was.
Dave Destruction Sturgio.
Call me Chris, first of all.
I'm calling him Chris. Okay, he was like petrified of me. He didn't say a word to me the whole time. I'm in this small studio before they expanded. It's like the size of a closet. I'm in there, and Dave's like, "Are you set? Okay." I turn the mic on. I'm talking. No help from him whatsoever.
I think I even have to call Chris on a troubleshooting project on the second episode.
Problem with the cables. I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? I mean, Jimmy Palumbo enters Chop Sports Media. I look back. I feel like I'm in those old black and white videos, like early Ty Cobb throwing the ball around in the Anyway, so when you first met me, you were directing me though, Tom. So
I was directing you in a web series that we shot called Checked Out. Yeah, and it was. Yeah, I was, to be honest, Dave, I was a little starstruck. I was like, dude, this is cool. Like Jimmy's like, this is a guy I watched on, Beer League, and I respect this guy. And
I'm the only, he's the reason why, like, and people are like, are you really keeping a batting average in softball? I'm like, listen, like, I'm trying to get to a certain number here. All right. If I can't get there, I stink. So that was what it was all about.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I would definitely, and I would quote Jimmy from Beer League all the time. Obviously, prior to meeting him, and now I don't quote him at all.
You ran out of quotes, Tom.
Of course. Whenever people do meet me and they're fans of Beer League, the second line is always, "Do you talk to Artie? Do you talk to Artie?" I go from I'm like the opening day pitcher that wins a game. That I don't play another game after that.
Yeah, how's Artie doing? Right? It's always how's Artie doing? Oh, dude, that was great. Hey, how's Artie doing?
Yeah, Artie's doing okay, but he's not returning. Artie, if you're listening, use your phone, dial the number, or text me. I'm still here.
Gotta give a shout out to Ben Wexler, who just donated to the Beer League movie. Good luck.
There you go, Ben.
So thank you,
right.
Ben.
There you go. I wish you. I can't. I promise you, I won't tell anybody how much it is.
He did. He did say above. I'm going to pay to play as an extra. So I don't know what that costs, but
I don't know either.
I think Benny Boy wants in this thing.
Maybe he'll be next to you at the gym. He'll be next to Destruction. Maybe we'll give him a name like
Ben's about this tall. So
right, maybe he'll be like
I love Ben.
Maybe he'll be like Ben, the Destruction and the
Ben
little
the Bruiser.
Guy. Yeah, well, maybe we'll call him like Destruction and Robin, like Batman and Robin. I'm gonna go to Indiegogo, and he's gonna withdraw his money from.
It actually says it was donated and then not donated. So
yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Ben, we appreciate it. We really do.
Yes, sir.
And
100%.
Hopefully, we'll raise some more money. So anyway, so now you start. So now, how'd you work this whole life? You have a regular job. You got a wife. You got kids. I mean, Dave's married with a couple of kids. I have a daughter. How did you? I mean, life gets in the way. And we. Jokingly, me and Dave have been writing another script, which we're really happy about, and we will be announcing it soon. But life gets in the way, man, and it's hard. What's your balance between getting stuff done in showbiz and the thing that pays the bills?
Yeah, you know tough. What? It's we've got a great team. 624 Productions has got a great team of people that work on it, so it's not just me. My wife is a huge supporter of what I do, so she's behind everything I do.
Huge supporter. She's like 38 points a game, 12 rebounds, 14 assists. That's like saying, Will was good.
She owns half the company. Like when we launched it, it's half of it's hers, half it's my name, and
So I'm 2 months away from only dealing with your wife. Is that what you're pretty much saying?
Very close.
The power struggle.
No, you have to. Your wife has to be in on the joke. That's great.
Definitely. And it's a good team. I mean, when we come to work on a project, it's everybody kind of rolls their sleeves up and does the job, and everybody's in on it. With that's part of 624 has been with me since the beginning. Since 2000, when we started 2012, I mean, we got, Jeff, Brad, Jill, I mean, Megan McGee joined us, about 4 years ago on Unsuited. I mean, it's a great,
you got a nice group. That's one of the things that when people said, when I got there and I saw the crew, I said, well, they got some nice equipment. They got some nice people. They were hardworking. There was no bullshit. You were in control. I look for stuff like that. When you do these bullshit, I'm not saying your project was
smaller budget bullshit.
When you do these smaller budget things, I use the word bullshit, but I don't mean to insult. And all of a sudden I've done them where there's you're waiting around for hours. The guy's mother drove away with the camera. I mean, I've been on those, and
Tom, if you're ever looking for some extra help and extra hand chops, sports media will be gladly.
Well, I've been saying there's
elaborate a little bit, man.
I think there's something there for sure.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason, man. That's why we're here. So this is great.
For sure.
Because if you're gonna be broke, you be broke together. That's the only way to
share the misery. Misery loves company, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what I want to talk about, and I felt. Listen, I wanted to talk about Beer League Series because Tom and I have had some heart-to-hearts about it. Now, I love the way it turned out. I do. But, after we watched it and we looked at it a bunch of times, we waited about a month. Me and Tom talked, and I want to get his thoughts on it as well. We were like, the main reason why we're doing 3 more is that we were stuck in the bar.
Yep.
And I want to tell people, because people always ask me, like, why are we at the bar? It was a budget thing. When you shoot multiple locations, that extends you have to go another day. So when you look at the spreadsheet of a budget for a film and you go another day, that's like adding a whole nother row of, well, the guy's getting paid $500 a day to do the audio. He gets, now it's $1,000 for the gig because it's 2 days. And we were rushed on it. I wanted to get moving on it as fast as we can. So I made some mistakes as a producer. Tom, we were supposed to shoot it the week, like around Christmas.
Right.
And Tom was like, guys, I'm not ready. This is wrong. Give me 2 or 3 more weeks. So I think we shot it January 15th or something like that. And that turned out to be a very good decision. But looking back, I think we should have even waited maybe another month and really got our ducks in a row. So I want to hear some of your thoughts on all of that, because I think it's important that the people find out, what was going on in our heads and stuff.
It's tough making a project, right? And quite frankly, Jimmy, even with the budget, the limited budget that we had, there are a lot of people in this industry. There's a lot of people in the independent world that just write a script, or like you said, they might have a camera and they put it in and it looks awful. I mean, you could take what we did, and again, I'm not patting ourselves on the back here, but even with our limited budget, you could take what we did and you could put it up against some really, tier 2, even some tier 1 independent films and independent episodics. We did a really nice job with the limited budget that we had, with the limited time that we had. And that's the purpose of, I think, what we talked about is why we want to do 3 more, because we've got more budget. We want to take it outside the bar. We want to do more production, right? We want to put Jimmy in his house. We want to put the guys maybe on the ball field. We want to see Jimmy and Maganelli and Alphonse working out in the gym. But there's a lot of pieces to it, and producing is not easy. In fact, the easiest part of the job is when you get to set, in my opinion. The easiest part of the job is when you get to set and you call to action. All of that pre-production work, that's the most work. And even, in fact, I was just talking to my son about it.
Hey, Tom, just be careful. Your camera's moving a little bit.
Sorry,
so
I apologize.
I was very energetic, very passionate. Let him go with his hands.
All right. I was talking, my son was on set with us, and he said to me the other day, he's like, Dad, he goes, when are you guys going back into production with Beer League, or with what's going on? And I said, pretty soon. And he goes, we're not going to see you for 3 weeks when that starts. Because he knows the amount of work in pre-production.
No, it's a lot.
It's so much.
And you carry the burden on that for sure.
No. This is not me like, oh, look what I can.
No. It's just somebody. There's always on these independent things. Somebody, you can share the burden, but at the end of the day, the producer and director, especially the director, he's got work to do 2 or 3 weeks before and during. It's just getting everybody there. It's intense. And, one of the mistakes I made, and I'm only talking about this because to me, it's a creative thing. And I like talking about what went well. I thought the cast showed up. They were great.
Yes.
We had some issues with, how do I get the cast who lives in LA? I can't fly them in and put them up in a hotel. So we had to do some funky things with the iPad there.
I think that was a great improvisation, to be honest with you. I think, with modern technology, why not?
We had to do that. One of the things I regret is that I really wanted to make. I was like, I'm really going to try
to get a better
keep,
director.
No. I know. What I want to do, because Tom and I were collaborating so well, writing this other script and talking. I wanted to be able to be like in Video Village and just and really look and discussing things with you. Hey, can we do it that way? But we had limitations because we had to do a 2-camera set. We couldn't do turnaround, so you couldn't see. It can't be just camera on Dave and then camera on me. It had to be a 2-shot with me and Dave talking, and you limit yourself.
Cameras going at the same time. One's on coverage,
right.
one's on the wide. Yeah, for sure.
Tom, quick question about this series. What did you, and maybe Jimmy could chime in on this too with the creative control. Did you guys ever consider making the 5 that you guys have put out there as like episode 1 of like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you stack them all up, you're looking at a 25-30 minute episode, and right. I know it was only one scene, but like at the same time, I think it might play better if the next couple are a little longer.
I'll go first on that one. I wanted to do that after looking at them. I was like, let's just do it as one. That's the pilot. But I got to hand it to Tom on this one, and you probably don't realize it, Dave. Tom was a little bit like, it'll be too stagnant. It's just 3 guys sitting at the bar. It'll be boring.
Well, think of it like Cheers, maybe, like because they never left.
Yeah, but there was no movement. There was no.
It's the whole when Jimmy and I looked at all 5 episodes, and it clocked in at less than 22 minutes. It was like 21 minutes or whatever. When you're sitting there watching and people are coming in and out, if you don't have something else to cut to, and especially in Cheers,
we didn't.
You have Norm crossing the bar, walking over here, whatever. There's different things going on. It was very stagnant. And so that was why we made the creative choice to say, let's cut these up into little snippets, little widgets.
We also didn't have, at each snippet, at each episode, we didn't have an ending, which would, not an ending, but like that would bleed into the next part of the scene. So, and that's on us. We should have, again, we didn't have enough time or budget to really think that through. We were kind of on a fence about it. That was going on the whole time. Should we do a 15-minute pilot or 5 3-minutes? That went back and forth. And that's just the way it turned out.
But this is why we're doing the next 3, because now we have the liberties now to kind of do more and kind of expand upon what we kind of dipped our toe into the beer league world, right? And that's the other thing too, is we're going to be introducing new characters like Dave, like you. We're going to be introducing Jimmy's son, his girlfriend, people, and then also what we're hoping is that the world starts to expand a little bit more on top of what we kind of just. Right. I mean, literally, I look at those 5 episodes as like not even an appetizer. It's like the bread that comes.
Yeah, the whole purpose of the first episodes were, where are they now? I just wanted to let people, where are these guys at now? And unfortunately, we weren't able to get Artie and Ralph, but they didn't say no. They were like kind of a wait and see thing, blah, blah, blah. But in a perfect world, what I would love to have done, and I'm still working on it, it may happen, is to get a little bit of a financier or someone, a little bit of a big donor. Yeah. And then we can shoot, 20 of them and in a month. And that way we have them ready to go at all different times and how we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. So that's what we wanted to do. The other thing I'm going to make sure this time for me, I was in every scene, which was great, very fortunate. But I couldn't go back to Video Village and look at any of the takes. Right. Now, I even told Tom in the new one, we're going to stop for a minute. We're going to go back, rewind. And not that I'm not trusting Tom. It's not what it is at all. But I think I could add something. I've been doing this a while now.
Wait, Jimmy, you didn't watch anything back? You just kind of left it in the hands of Tom?
Dave, we shot 17 pages in 8 hours.
No, but to me, that's incredible. Because, I mean, like, just based off of what it really turned out to be and what it looked like, I thought I had to trust Tom. And when that's great. I don't have a style of acting, but a lot of actors are well aware where the camera is. I don't do it that way. If I'm sitting there talking to you, I look you right in the eye and I talk to you. Every actor's going to hate me for this, but it's not my job to get the camera right. My job is to do the scene with Dave or Nanny.
Exactly. That's absolutely.
You get the now. If you come over to me and say, Jimmy, look a little bit to the left, or instead of looking at Dave in the eye, can you look like a foot over? Because the angle's got to be right. So I'll do a scene not looking at you, but I am talking to you. But I couldn't see anything, and I said, Tom, I got to be able to see it. Maybe maybe I'll say something. And it's not like Tom's going to go like, okay, Jimmy, whatever you want. No, it's going to be like, Jimmy, we can't do that because of plus it's 1:30 and we got 11 more pages. In other words, people don't realize every hour costs you a certain amount of money.
And that's Tom the thing, Dave, when we were on set, we had a limited time in the bar, and
limited.
Jimmy and I made the commitment to shoot all 17 pages. We were like, all right, we're going to get this done. And so it was, they call, there's certain styles called guerrilla, filmmaking, which is really just grabbing a camera and just running around with it. This was like Rambo guerrilla. Like we were like, boom, setting lights. We had to get light set, cameras, audio. We had to get 2 cameras, and we only had, Jimmy, what did we walked in there? I think it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I thought this was all shot in like days. Like this is all one day.
No, that's what I'm saying. I had to be out of it. We shot at Stand Up New York again.
We had to be out of there by 4 p.m.
Yeah, wow. and we were pushing it to like 4:15. But the waitresses were coming in. They had some kind of. It sounds funny now. I don't mean it to be funny, but they had some kind of LGBTQ show going on at 6 o'clock. So they had to set up the tables, and we were using the stage area where the shows are
as a holding area.
So we had to clear all that out. There's a lot of equipment. You don't realize it. And that was my mistake. For some reason, I became friendly with the guy who runs Stand Up New York. And he's a cool dude. And I've been doing a lot of sets there at the time. And I thought, wow, this would be cool. Get some buzz going with Stand Up New York, a lot of comics. And we were always hoping for Artie to show up. I thought it was a really cool thing. But then I realized, I figured Monday night, there's no comedy shows on Monday night. Well, Jimmy, the producer.
Sure shit there was.
Sure shit there was. But these are things. So next time when we shoot, one of the things we promised when we shoot, we're going to shoot in the kitchen scene we're going to do. We're going to be in a place where, because once you get.
No, you're going to get to the field and be like, well, there's Little League practice at 6. So you're going to have to get the
I know, well, you know what? Don't worry. Tom and his jerk-off crew at 624, I'm going to be like, guys, make sure we got the clearance for this because it's important. All of a sudden you lose. Because once you get actors to the set, they'll stay late. They will. They want to be home on time.
Of course.
But they know. Plus, they get overtime. And so, but you
as long as the environment is comfortable for them, they feel like they're creative. They're able to do things, and it's not a hostile environment. People aren't screaming and yelling. I've never ran a set like that. Even when we were running behind, like Megan McGee is our first assistant director, and she would come up to me, whether it was on Beer League or other projects, and if we were running behind, she was like, Tom, we're running behind. But it was always like we kept it like very contained so that it never bled out into the rest of the crew or the cast, because once you start building that, it's like a cancer. Then everybody else starts to feel like angry and frustrated. And it's like
another thing about the location, and I'm not bashing Stand Up New York. It's a really great comedy club. The front door had to be blocked off. Okay. Yes. So the front door gets blocked off. Nobody could come in or come out during production. And so we were kind of cramped. We didn't know where to, it was hard. And then another thing, which Dave has so gratefully going to be doing for us, we wanted to get way more behind the scenes stuff because, and Dave, you'll see it as soon as you get there with your camera. There's moments where, for instance, if there's a scene where I'm not in or I step aside for a break when they're switching lenses or cameras or something, you got to get me and Alphonse talking, or me and Manganelli talking, and you kid around. We do a promo. Hey guys, check it out. Or we do, then Johnny Trino with destruction. The little things like that. What it does is though, because the whole thing resides on the internet. It's not a Netflix show. We have stuff. How many times you say, Jimmy, you got anything to promote? I was like, no, it's all on the screen. And this time we're going to have way more footage of ball breaking to help promote it. And we'll probably I think we're going to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday release for 3. But I want to have at least 5 or 10 posts that we could do to promote it. And we have to actually have a production meeting on that. But those are the things. I just wanted to let people know. Some people really enjoyed it. We got a bunch of nice reviews. It didn't go viral as much as I think we wanted to. And there were some reasons for that. The biggest thing is grassroots. Number one, Dave, you got in bed with us a little bit late in the process.
Yeah.
You did a good job promoting it, but it was just late. Now you got to be in on it. Like, wow, release date. What are we doing? The internet, Facebook. There's a lot to it. LinkedIn. It's got to be all thought out because it
all your fans on LinkedIn, Jimmy. It's a LinkedIn.
Let me
crowd,
tell you something. I do have a lot of fans on LinkedIn. Believe it
I
or
know
not.
it's crazy.
But social media is it's an evil bird sometimes, and
blessing and a curse.
It's a weapon.
No doubt about it. So,
and it's what, and the one thing I've heard on a recent podcast, it's free. It's free.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't, if you ask the guy to put a billboard up, an actual billboard on the turnpike, it costs you thousands of dollars. If you ask someone newspaper articles, like, can I put a little ad in the paper? Sure. $800.
Yeah.
Can you post on social media? Yeah. Free. You know what I mean? So nobody can complain about social media right now because it's still free.
Yeah. I also think though, in the Facebook world, there's that thing of buying ads. We didn't really buy any ads even.
No, because there's a way to do that. Like you're gonna have to make almost like a you would have to share the trailer almost. Like there's one thing you would have to kind of dial back and push, and that's specifically designed for Facebook to kind of hit more people. So there's multiple ways to do it, and I think me being in the
I think now we'll be a little bit more conscientious of what we need to do and what needs to be shot.
LinkedIn people coming in now. There's at least two of us here a week.
Oh, for sure.
That's great.
But so anyway, I wanted to have Tom on, and because he does a great job, and I can't wait to really discuss this other project that we're working on.
Yeah.
Which we promised each other we wouldn't let life get in the way as much. And we're going to be working on that hopefully this week. Yes, but thank you very little.
Yes.
I want to shout out that I did get to screen Unsuited, which I think is awesome.
Oh,
I thought that was very, very well done. It's a very, very cool story.
It's a great idea. Unsuited. I love my explanation of Unsuited is always funny because I am not a gambler. And Unsuited is about a guy who wants to get into gambling as a profession, but he stinks at it. Yeah, professional poker player, but he stinks. I love
some of those scenes, those cutaways, like flashback. A lot of this stuff is really well done. I thought it was very, very entertaining.
Thank you. Yeah, we actually did a screening of it at the World Series of Poker back in July with a private screening with professional poker players, some gaming industry people, and the poker.org came. They were a news media. They wrote up a really nice review for us.
Nice.
Poker News is actually going to be writing a nice review in the next 2 weeks. And then we're actually going to be do another private screening down in Florida at the end of November with another main event in the poker world, the World Poker Tour, the WPT. So we're getting some really good gaming industry folks, getting in behind the show as well. So
one thing we're definitely going to do with Beer League, and we didn't do it last time, and I guess it was my call, so maybe I blew this one, but we are going to have a screening at a movie theater.
Yes.
Of Beer League. Okay.
Yes.
So you see Beer League first, then you see the first 5 episodes, and then you see the new 3.
Yeah.
We'll do that live in a theater. And Dave, it's just to get a buzz. We're close to signing.
Red carpet event. Sign me up. Let's go.
It was. We're close to signing with a streaming app. With it right now. Also, I had to talk to Dave about something with Premiere. Where these things can maybe reside, but listen, all these streaming apps doesn't mean money rolls in. That's not how it works. Everybody knows that. It just gives more places and more people to watch it that maybe wouldn't have known about it, don't know anything about it. So
exactly.
And the big thing is we got to grow it beyond the original characters. That's why we're introducing my son. And we got a very funny punchline about my son's name in the thing, which I will not reveal now. And
I should be a writer.
And listen, on the set, we don't always stick to the script. So especially with you with destruction, that's just I'm gonna be abusing you on that. So funny to me. So anyway, that's it. Hey Tom, thanks for coming on. Anything else?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Make sure you tell your wife. She's now co-executive producer now, so tell your wife I said hello. And I appreciate you coming on and telling our little Beer League the series story here at Shea. And also, we got to give a shout out to Greg, our other partner, Greg Alprin, who was key in helping us out with a lot of different things, some lawyer stuff he had to help us out with and try to get these contracts right. And we're still struggling with a couple of contracts. So a big shout out to Greg Alprin, who produces comedy shows and is one of the producers and partners in crime.
Yeah. And you know what, Jimmy, I just want one of the comments here I saw that I don't know who Robbie Bryan is, said 17 pages in 8 hours. My God, holy crap, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
he's a director.
And
And
I
an
just want to
actor.
say, and I want to say, probably Robbie, the only reason we did that is because our cast was frigging awesome and like came prepared and worked. And that's what
We were
it
ready to
really,
go,
that's what really matters. And having people like Jimmy, having people like, Matty Corman and everybody just come prepared. That's what made it really easy.
I only had trouble. I ran into a rocky fifth inning, and Dave, you can appreciate this. There was this one stretch of script that was easy,
Yeah.
and you know what? I don't know what happened. I couldn't. We were doing another take, and at one point, Deej, my boy playing Alphonse, like, Jimmy, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, Deej, like, if the manager comes out,
I left hook stunned me. I don't know what to do. And I'm all over the place.
Immediately go to the left-hander. I was like, I felt like a boxing match where I was trying to tell my corner man, I'm not hurt, but he is really. I couldn't.
Don't you throw in that towel? Don't you?
Oh my God, it was like that. I couldn't. I forget to say. I had to look back on. I couldn't get the words. The words were getting stuck in my mouth. I don't know why.
It was between you, Maddie, and Deej. It was episode. It was, and we didn't shoot in order. We kind of shot in order, then we jumped around. But it was one of the scenes during episode 2 is between you, Deej, and Maddie, and you guys. It was a phone call, and yeah, I remember it. You guys were.
I couldn't get. I was rolling along 4 innings, 1 hit, and all of a sudden a walk, an error, a double down the line.
I think you know what it was. I think it was when we went back, right? Because I think we went chronological order, and then we went back and did some coverage stuff, and then I found some spots. I was like, "Can we go back to that?" And I remember you going like, "Holy shit, I don't even remember what we did back then." That was like
it was a scene already. I was horrible. But of course, working with my boy Deej is always fun. Me and him just have a good rapport. But all right, listen.
Thanks,
I love
guys.
you, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We got to get to the rest of the show here. We're turning this into.
Looking forward to working with you, Tom.
Yeah, looking forward to working with you too, Dave.
Yeah, all right, brother. I'll talk to you later on, my man.
Peace, guys.
See you.
Take care.
All right. That's it. Tom Baldinger getting involved, which brings us to cornholeLevel.com. That's right. Your friend and mine. Now look at this thing right here. Look at this, okay, with the Rutgers thing, which is coming up in a second. I'll discuss. This thing is the greatest thing ever. CornholeLevel.com. They're $19.95, 20% off an order if you type in the JP Show. Now keep in mind here, Shay, these things. Listen, Dave. I know you like your cornhole. I know you do. But sometimes your cornhole is just uneven here, and you just put this little thing right in there, and all of a sudden, like a young Ben Gay.
It's funny because sometimes I'm wondering, I'm like, why can't I sit straight? Oh, fuck. I got the cornhole level.
You got a cornhole level. And you're the kind of guy that shows up at a barbecue, and if you see your neighbor is struggling with a shitty cornhole board, all awkward, not at the right level, either too steep or too flat, you got to say, let me go to my car. I got something for your cornhole. Now, if he follows you to the car, you say, no, I mean the actual game cornhole. And cornholelevel.com. These things are awesome. They're going to be doing all kinds of college stuff with it. The Rutgers one just got signed. And so go to cornholelevel.com, 20% off. If you say JP Show, my second baseman, Mike Caprio, does a great job with that. All right. Well, I know we're going long here, but I have to do this. We're going to do a little college preview. Really a Rutgers preview, to be honest with you. I am wearing the Bear Bryant hat in honor. My brother's going to hate me for that. I'm gonna make some predictions on the Scarlet McKnights. And I'm hard on Rutgers because you know why? This is my 40th year of watching Rutgers football. 1983 to 2023, man. And I have just watched a lot of shitty football, man. I mean, bad games, bad old stadiums, Big Ten blowouts, 88-0, 35-0, 48-0, shutouts galore here at the stadium. And after a while, I was like, I'm tired. But I look at the schedule. Now I go to this thing called, Dave, you should know about this site. It's called MasseyRatings.com. They do a cumulative ranking where there's about 30 semi-popular college football polls, of which there's the big five, AP and the UP, all that stuff. But they have these other things, like if you and I did a poll based on, and they all have an algorithm at home, getting points, all these little algorithms they do, and they come up with a ranking. And it's really accurate, especially at the top level. Like if you're Georgia and Alabama, But Rutgers is ranked in a cumulative thing, 98th, okay, which means that's just trouble. But we have a strength of schedule in the top 30. So that is a recipe.
I mean, you're in the Big Ten now, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
but we know what though?
tough.
Like Penn State strength of schedule 66. So
they're going to go run through their shit.
But now I'm going to get to Penn State in a second. So I'm going to go through our schedule. I am making a prediction, a bold prediction. Maybe it's because it's the end of the summer here at Shea, and I'm going to say the Scarlet McKnights are going to go 6-6, which is radical for me. But I'm going to explain why. Our first game this Sunday, noon, Northwestern. Now, Northwestern's ranked 102nd. They stink. Even though everyone's better than us, but they stink. I think we're going to win that game. Then we go on to Temple at home, and Temple stinks. Okay. There you go. I'm going to have them beat Temple. We beat them last year. I think we're more improved. Then the third game of the season, key game in Rutgers bowl hopes, okay? Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia Tech is a storied program, way better than us, but they stink now. They're ranked like 88th. At home, I think that's what I call a swing game for Rutgers. So I'm going to have them at 3-0, and not exactly a 3-0 or a blow. I think they're all going to be close, shitty games, and I won't feel good about myself. Then we go to the Big House. That is the most unwinnable game of all time. They're ranked third. Not going to happen. Me and my brother call it a no-shot game. We got no shot there. But then we play Tom Baldinger's alumni there, Wagner. That's a win. Them. So now we're at 4-1 because September is Rutgers football. Okay, and then starts to get a little chilly. You're raking leaves a little more than you should. And that'll do it here from the Omni. Because then we run into at Wisconsin. They're ranked 23rd in the country at Wisconsin. We're not winning that game. That's a loss. Then we got Michigan State at home. Now, Michigan State's ranked 55th on this cumulative preseason poll. We do well against Michigan State sometimes. I don't know why. We beat them 3 times in the last 30, 40 years. I think we've beaten them 3 times. That's amazing to me. But I just think we're going to get beat there.
Low expectations.
I think we're going to get beat there. And then we have the next at Indiana. Now they're ranked 82nd. This is a swing game. We never play well at Indiana, but it's a swing game. So I'm going to say, you know what? We're going to get the win. So what do we got now?
5-2.
3, 4. We're 5-2. Okay.
So now you got to win to go 500 for this year at 5-2. All you got to do is win one more game.
Okay, but here comes the death. Here comes the death spiral. Then we got at home against Ohio State. That's a no-shot game. None whatsoever. No shot. That's a loss. And now I think the Rutgers schedule has 3 games in a row. Ohio State at home, at Iowa. Nobody wins. The lacrosse team doesn't win at Iowa. The chess team, if Rutgers has a cornhole team, they lose at Iowa.
With levelers.
It's just a loss. There's no shot of us beating at Iowa. Like Penn State goes to Iowa at 6-3 at the half. No shot. And then we have the other no-shot game, Penn State on the road. Now, Penn State, I'm going to get to them when I'm done with this. That's a no-shot game. And then it comes down to the final game. We're going to be 6-5. No, 5-6. We're going to be 5-6.
So wait, you lost 4 straight?
Yeah, for sure. And we're heading into the Maryland game. Now, a lot of dumb Rutgers fans always say, "Oh, Maryland's not that good." They're way better than us. But I'm going to guess that I think we're going to have better depth this year. And I think last year we got smoked by them. But I think it's at home. We're going to be 5-6 with a chance for a bowl. And that's another swing game. So the swing games are Virginia Tech, at Indiana, and home against Maryland. I say we get the win there, and we go 6-6. Now, my reasons for all of this, we are going to get blown out by the no-shot teams. I think we're going to be better on defense because our defense was pretty good last year, but our offense was ranked 150th of all college teams. We 3 and out all the time.
I don't think they had an actual solve at the quarterback position last year either. There was a lot of interchangeable parts.
The quarterback got hurt in preseason. That would have started, not Wimsatt, the other guy.
I know.
And our O-line will be better. We brought in some transfers. I think our O-line will be better, not at the Big Ten level, though, but enough to handle the Northwesterns, Temple, and Virginia Techs. I also think our running game, we got this kid Brown coming back, had a weird injury. He was starting to get the ball rolling pretty well last year. He got hurt. But again, it's the quarterback. Gavin Wimsatt, everybody thinks he's the second coming. I've seen nothing from this kid. He looks the part. He's got the dreadlocks hanging out. He just looks like he's like, oh my God, I've arrived. And then it's 3 and out. This kid, he's done nothing. He's got the size, the tools, they say. I just don't know. It's really all on him. If we get good quarterback play, we can go 6-6. If we don't, we'll go, I believe we can go 3-9 really easy. Oof. Like easy go 3-9. So that's it. I got him at 6-6.
Those swing games are definitely winnable. So it's not like it's
definitely winnable.
Definitely winnable.
That's why I looked at the rankings. In other words, like even Michigan State, they're ranked 55th. So that tells you that they're not.
When is the home closer against Maryland? What's the date?
It's late. Like the week might even be the week of Thanksgiving.
Okay. I was going to say a little colder. I mean, a little weather game,
Maryland,
a little snowage maybe.
Maryland's got some receivers, and Maryland's tough.
Yeah, no, they do.
Again, it's not Ohio State. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
And I think there's a lot of pressure on Schiano. I mean, this is his 4th year. It's like, okay, we're waiting. And all I'm looking for is for quality play. So that's it. Also, I have a prediction. I'm only going to predict 2 of the top 4 teams, and they're radical. I believe Notre Dame will easily be in the top 4. They got that quarterback from Wake Forest. He's got the beard. He's like 45 years old now. He's been playing for 20 years. I don't know if anybody watched the Navy game.
You're gonna play him in the movie?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna play his role.
Dennis
Quaid. The kid from Wake Forest who's on Notre Dame. He's Wake Forest, they're not Notre Dame. Notre Dame has talent. They got a quarterback now who's been quarterbacking for 6 years. He's very relaxed back there. I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame, I think they will run the table and they will be in the top 4.
Run the table?
I also think, yes, I do. I think Notre Dame's going to be awesome. That's my prediction. Hey, it's just a little. They will be in the top 4. I also think Penn State will be in the top 4. They're going to knock Michigan or Ohio State off. I think Penn State has a defense that is stifling. They got a quarterback now who's a sophomore, played a lot last year to get his feet wet. I think Penn State's going to be a beast this year, and I think they're going to sneak in to the top 4. I don't know who the other teams are. Probably your Georgia, Clemson's, whoever else. I could care less. Those are my 2. So I predicted 2 of the 4.
Okay,
fair. So that's it. Which brings us to Oxy Magic. That's right. OxyMagicUSA.com. Oxy with a Y, Dave. Oxy, O-X-Y, MagicUSA.com. They are a carpet cleaning service. They're not your traditional. They don't drag the hoses through. The average dry time is about 2 hours. They got the Green Seal, EPA, Safer Choices. They got some great people working for them. They do wall-to-wall area rugs, upholstery, tile. They do grout. They have 80 locations nationwide. The company is now offering 0% financing if, in fact, me and Dave want to open up our own cleaning service, which
and the Rutgers special teams crew around November.
Always be on the table. So especially when, Rutgers pisses me off and I throw my, glass of wine or beer through the television, it gets all over the carpet. You got to call OxyMagicUSA.com. These guys are great. My boy Tom owns it with his wife, Natalie. They're pickleball players as well. Go check it out. OxyMagicUSA.com. Dave, you used them, and I think they did a good job from what I heard.
They lasted.
You got your kids and you're running all over the carpets now. It's factory fresh. That's how we like to handle that. Other news here from the Omni, and I'm rolling along here. We're running a little late. I'm in a pickleball league right now, an official league. Okay. And everybody's being so creepy. They're like, Jim, we're trying to look at matchups. I'm like, guys, softball league. You show up on Wednesday, right? You smack them, you throw the ball around a little bit, you go have a beer and you go home. That's what a league is. They're talking about taking us to the States and going. I'm like, guys, what are you talking about? Meanwhile, I don't think anybody on the team is better than me except maybe one guy. I'm either even or I'm, a little bit less than the other guy, but I'll get in his head and I'll smoke him too.
Swing game.
Swing game over here, Jay. Other big news, and I don't know if she's still here. Natalie, you still here? Nat?
She would just leave? Like
Natalie? Nat?
Yep, this is what's happening on a live show, ladies and
A
gentlemen.
live show.
Dad's calling daughter.
I thought she was right there. My daughter, Natalie, has a big week next week. She is starting high school.
Oh my God.
I can't believe. And I gotta go to Keith Jack, Bear Bryant. Best thing about a freshman, they become sophomores. Nat, you there? Nat?
This is great podcast.
Hey, Nat, what am I, a mirage? Hey, Nat. Come here.
I hear her. She's out there. She's
Come
like,
here.
Dad, I want to be on your stupid show.
Hurry up. You're going to be on. The show's almost over. She starts high school next week. She's a little nervous about it. Come on in. Hop in. Get your face in there. There it is right there.
Good evening. Jesus Christ, she's getting so old. My God.
She looks like she's 35 years old. Oh, now she's knocking my earbuds off.
Hey, Nat, how are you?
Say hello.
Hey, listen, Stella misses you. Stella misses you very much.
Yes, I know. That's all she says. When are we going to get together with Dave's kids? I said, well, it depends how the Jets do, because, his son's a big Jet fan now. So
yeah, right.
I see them all over your Instagram.
Yeah, yep.
Yes,
Pop
indeed.
over here.
All right. You excited about high school?
You can do it. Hey, listen, as long as you don't fit in the lockers that can't stuff you in them, that's the kind of test I did on my first day to make sure I was good to go.
But Dave, they really couldn't stuff you in the locker.
That's very true.
Although they could have stuffed me and hung me from the locker. That's how small and skinny I was. But yeah, so you're excited? You're a little excited though, right?
Best of luck, Nat.
She had a little tour today and she went around and that's it. You got anything else to say? Oh, wait a minute. Guess who's going to the Rutgers game on Sunday with me?
Oh, yeah? Very nice.
She's excited about that. So
very cool.
She knows that September is Rutgers football because we didn't lose yet. All right, Nat. Now you got to give me my earbud.
Thank God she looks like her mother, by the way.
Bye, podcast.
Take care, Nat.
All right. Natalie Joan making not her debut. She's been on before.
Jimmy, she's getting old. Like quick.
She's like 45 years old.
This is insane. I saw her 2 summers ago and she was it felt like she was 7.
I know. Now she looks like Bill Cart right now, just chipping in. Nobody calls their daughter. There goes Dave with the jug of water.
Yeah, I took multiple swigs throughout the course, and you didn't say a goddamn thing.
I didn't catch it. I don't know how I missed it. Which brings us to chasingmiracles.com. And there's a miracle. My mother is convinced these things work. It's all kinds of shit your body needs. They are Chasing Miracles stem cell patches. The swimmers use them, athletes use them. You get more stamina, energy, muscle strengthening, pain elimination. It's like a detox, a weight loss thing. I've been using them, but not every day. I will start using them every day because I am becoming, bone crusher.
How's Daryl Clark as a normal human being? Is he cool?
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a big LSU Saint fan.
I just got a friend request, so I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Daryl Clark's cool.
Daryl Clark, cool guy.
He's a Patreon, and also he's a big. Listen, he lives down there. He's a big Saint and big beer league Saint and LSU fan. He lives and die with them.
Nice.
But again, chasingmiracles.com. You got to check these stem cell patches out. They work great. There's no needles, non-invasive. There's nothing that goes injected. You don't swallow anything. And it's all kinds of, not those pills you get at the, they're probably going to do a joke there, but the Navy SEALs use them here at Shea. Go to chasingmiracles.com. Check these things out. My mother is scheduled for knee replacement in January, and she is holding off as of right now. Her knee feels a little bit better. Nice. And look at that. Look at Daryl Clark jumping in there. So go check these things out. I use them. I'm going to be using them every day though, because I'm like Butterbean now, and so go check these things out. They're also a long-time sponsor, and they're good people. Go talk to Tommy and Donna. Next week we're going to do a NFL Giants preview. The Stinks List makes its debut next Tuesday. And Dave's favorite thing.
Next week. Dave's away out of nowhere. I don't know what happened.
Dave doesn't think I know about the NFL, but I do my research.
Jimmy, your newspaper. Your newspaper reading every Monday doesn't count as knowing the NFL.
I watch the blue channel, the red zone there, the red zone there, and I go on there, I watch, and My expert scientific research is based on sitting on the couch with a beer in my hand. I watch 5 minutes of a game and I go, this team stinks. That it's accurate. I get your Cowboys were not on the stinks list most of the year, except for that one.
They should not be on the stinks list.
They played lousy one game last year. I put them on the stinks list, but I think they were on the good list most of the time, and very good for a while.
Like you're fucking Santa Claus all of a sudden. Like, oh, the Cowboys have made the naughty.
That's it. That's exactly what the list is about. I think this should be published in every major website and publication. The Jimmy Palumbo stinks list, and I may put the Giants on there and the Jets just because.
Hard Knocks tonight, baby. Tune in.
That's it. Last one, right?
Has it been 5 already? I think
it's got to be the last one. They don't go.
No, you can wrap it up next week, right? Because the season don't start till Thursday.
Aaron, listen. I'm not. I like the Jets. I don't hate the Jets. And I think Aaron Rodgers, like I would love to have him in Beer League the series. He's like,
what a guy.
He's way too cool for the room.
Yeah, I know.
But what I am hoping, I just pray to God that the Jets lose on opening day and he throws 3 picks, because you just got to listen to WFAN.
New York Sports Radio is just going to be
oh my God.
abysmal.
I told you. I told you.
In the Jets' defense, and I'm not about to try to make a case for the Jets, they are playing the Bills. So it's not like,
No, of course.
It ain't a gimme.
I looked at the Giants schedule. I think 1-6 is definitely every team is great.
Sounds about right. As long as they don't win that first one, I don't give a fuck.
Listen, if we win the first game, we run the table.
Yeah, if you win the first game, Dave's not on the show that following Tuesday.
Dave will not be here. And here comes Chris Gucci. That's, you know what? Aaron Rodgers will stink. Jets lose. Giants beat the Cowboys. I gotta have Gucci out of here.
You're by yourself. It's a solo show that day. I'm behind the glass for real. It's
great. But you always give fair assessments, mostly fair assessments.
Mostly. I got a show today.
I think
anybody wants to tune in today, I'm giving a cut down show day on my own show at 4:00. So a little shameless plug.
Dave Sturgio show. Check that out. I think you're worse during the off season with your Cowboy stuff.
You know what it is?
I think during the season,
it's the same song and dance. It's the same song and dance every year. A lot of the Cowboy fans come out of the woodwork like, this is it. This is it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm never one of those guys. I'm never going to, you're never going to hear me like, this is our year. Like,
listen, you're still an obnoxious Cowboy fan.
Of course.
But during the season, I think you give good assessments as to where they're at. I've listened to your show many times. And when they lose, you're pissed, you're a fan. You also, I think you give decent read, but in the middle of like March and April, that's when you get sloppy. You become like a 9-year-old Cowboy fan.
See the guy that the Cowboys have in the 7th round, future Hall of Famer. I don't know if anybody else.
And I think the worst day to talk to you is the day after the draft. You have every guy going to Ken. Oh my God. And you're like, no, he played at Delaware State. He's a free safety. You're like, you don't
Did you see his game against Rutgers? Did you see everybody's game against Rutgers?
Well, that's the rule. If you stink against Rutgers, you can't
forget it. You ain't cutting it.
But all right, so don't forget Pine Tar Bar and Grill in Forked River, 609-489-4286. Go down and check my boy Tommy out, best sports bar in New Jersey. And also my good friend Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. She's a certified therapist. Go talk to her. I'm big on this. If you're feeling like shit, you're down and out, you're starting to get a little goofy and having thoughts, you're just not right, you're having trouble getting out of bed. Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. She'll take care of you. She'll walk you through. She'll try to help you out. She's good people, and she's a good personal friend of mine. I'll be seeing her possibly Friday, not for therapy, just to hang out with her kids with my daughter.
I'll be seeing her during the NFL season.
That's it.
Yes,
of course. Lisa's hoping. Well, listen, in your world, if the Cowboys go like 4-8, she'll be making $1 billion a week.
Right. Dave,
Cowboy
you can only book 1-hour sessions. I don't know what this whole everyday thing is like. I don't know why you got to sit down every day.
I'll be like, everybody at cowboys.com, please go to lisaruane.com because you need help. All right. Well, this show was long. I don't know why, but we had some fun. That's it. Dave, thank you. Thanks to all the people tuning in. Joe Sinecor, Troy, my sister, Daryl Clark being a jerk off. And that's it. All right. I'll talk to you guys later on. We'll see.